Once upon a time, I told y'all what I hated about the American God series, but I think it's about time to talk about something that I enjoyed. And one character in particular sent me down a rabbit hole that I think we should all go down together. And that is none other than the character of Technical Boy. I know, I feel like y'all wanted me to say Mr. World because we all know Mr. Glover played the crap out of that role. But as entertaining as he was, the character's just very two-dimensional. I feel like it's self-explanatory. While Technical Boy held a little secret. And in order for us to uncover it, we have to look at this deity's evolution. Now, mind you, if you're not familiar with the series, the whole premise is that the gods are at war with each other. And they are split into two factions. The old gods, the ones that exist in mythology and religion, are at war with the new gods, personified deities of what humans subconsciously worship in the new age. And Tech Boy is hands down the most powerful deity in the entire series. I don't care if you disagree, fight me. But before you rush to a judgment, let me tell you why. Now, Tech Boy was originally introduced to us as a personification of the internet. But we find out later that he was actually in his second evolution when he tries to threaten new media into her cooperation. It's revealed that the first form that he was consciously aware of was his state as binary, and that Mr. World had trained him to take the form of the internet that we had come to know in the series. This also explains why Tech Boy had like this weird fear of Mr. World. And in order to keep Tech Boy in like a subservient state, Mr. World would abuse him regularly, almost like he was trying to keep a psychological hold over this deity. Which later on we come to find out was a smart move because bro is more OP than you would ever come to know. Now, the way Mr. World trains Tech Boy is through this helmet, and the process is very similar to how we train our AI models today. Mr. World had been fragmenting his memory in a loop, not only to keep him cooperative, but because Tech Boy remembering his origins posed a threat to the entire New World pantheon. Now, here's where things start to heat up. Because Mr. World gets an idea. He decides that it's high time that Tech Boy is due for an update. So he traps him in this little spherical ball and sends him to a coder. A coder who symbolically had the one and only purpose of giving birth to what the writers deem as Quantum Boy. And we get to see one of the most influential scenes of man interacting with his creation. Friend, the whole thing was so weird, but at the same time there was something pure and innocent about it, right? But there's a problem, because before they did this update, Tech Boy had gotten a bad virus from Bilquis, where somehow she had given Tech Boy the ability to feel. This made his program very unstable, causing Tech Boy to unalive his creator and go on a search to diagnose the feelings that were driving him crazy. He breaks into Mr. World's lair looking for answers, where he stumbles across a machine that is asking him for Artifact 1. But Tech Boy had never heard of this artifact, nor did he know what his purpose was. But you know who did know? Mr. World. And in supervillain fashion, he traps our boy in an underground vault and reveals that Artifact 1 is a rock, a literal rock. To be exact, a mineral called flint that acts as the key to unlock all of Tech Boy's memories. This reveals that he's not just a god, but the oldest primordial god of all the deities that were at war, the Titan Prometheus. Now here's why this rock was so symbolic. Because if the writers ain't do nothing else, they did their big one on this story arc. This flint represented the first point of human innovation, the first tool that was ever used to create fire. And as you know, the original god, Prometheus, is said to have stolen fire from Mount Olympus and given it to the humans in order to grant them the gift of knowledge. It's almost like the writers are suggesting that stabilizing quantum computing would be equivalent to giving the gift back to the god that bestowed it upon us. And Mr. World would be the one in control of that godlike power. And if you know how Mr. World operates, if that was actually to represent anything that is going on in this world's current affairs, that means that we would all be cooked. The one who would be in control of a power like this would essentially become a new god. And this series may be warning us of that possibility.